What's the scariest space fact / mystery in your opinion? Here's one closer to home. The Kessler effect is the theory that a single destructive event in low Earth orbit could create a cascade where satellites break up into tiny fragments, taking out other satellites, breaking up into smaller fragments, and so on, until the Earth is completely surrounded by a massive cloud of tiny flying death shrapnel, which would make leaving this planet almost impossible. If you look up how much space debris there is already up there, and how many satellites currently orbit, plus the continued growth of the commercial space industry, I think about it a lot. Nebula black holes. This visual that either shows how slow light speed is, or how vast space is, depending on which way you look at it. I've seen videos showing the scale of the universe before, but this one really hit home for some reason. The speed of light, the fastest speed possible, looks painfully slow when you look at it in the context of even a fraction of our solar system. We are stuck here, aren't we? Edit. This genuinely seems to trigger some people. So here's a warning. May cause existential dread. Moon's haunted. Vacuum decay is one of the scariest concepts to me. We don't know if it exists, and we won't know until it's too late. Ever gone on a road trip and hit a patch where you're just driving for hours and you don't see anything exciting? I've experienced this in Australia, Canada and USA. All very large countries. Imagine doing that for years, traveling to another planet. The Great Attractor thing that affects the motion of galaxies for hundreds of millions of light years. Not scary exactly. More unfortunate, if anything. But we'll probably never be able to properly communicate with alien species. Given the amount of distance between the planets of our solar system, I'd assume the distance to other universes and galaxies is too far to think about right now. If we receive and send a message right now, by the time we hear a reply back, we would probably be a completely different government and societal system. We would just be constantly introducing ourselves. On the surface of Mars right now is a blurk. God help us if aliens find that first. Voyager 1 will outlive planet Earth. Edit. Wow. Didn't expect this post would generate so much interest. Couple of clarifications. First, I was referring to Voyager 1 not 2, so fixed that. Which is not to say that Voyager 2 also won't also outlive planet Earth. Second, my source mentions that it is plausible to imagine that Voyager 1 will outlive our planet given how incomprehensibly vast space really is. You can watch the interesting and rather fun video here. Honestly, my vote is for dark matter. The overwhelming majority of matter in the universe is a complete mystery to us. I think it would be pretty cool if we discovered that it was matter from parallel universes that we simply can't interact with. And to them, we are dark matter. Rogue planets. Planets that do not follow any given orbit. They may have been in an orbit at one time, but now they refuse to play by the rules. They were most likely knocked out of their orbit by another body, and now they are set on doing the same. I can't accept the fact that there is no end in space. But if there is indeed an end, then what's beyond it? I'm stuck in absurdity. Edit. In the numerous answers I've received, the one that seems to come back the most is the universe is curved. You would end up back where you started. Seems fair enough. Then again, that wouldn't mean there is no limit. On the contrary, that would just mean we are trapped in, or on the surface of, a sphere. But there is still a limit to this sphere. So the question remains, what's beyond it? The Boots Void. An area of space where there should be 50,000 or so galaxies, compared to other areas of the same size. But there's only about 60. Could just be empty space for some unknown reason. Or it could be an ever-expanding intergalactic empire using Dyson spheres. Also, I think it appears to be growing, but that could just be galaxies moving away from the void. Edit. So it turns out it's 2000 and obviously it's not gonna be aliens, but the theory is still cool AF. I think everything is terrifying about space, and I ducking love it. But one thing it scare me a lot. It's space and infinite. Imagine what kind of gigantic monster can be in there. Since the universe is expanding, and stars and galaxies are moving away from each other, it's possible that civilizations that spring up in the far future with lonely stars will see an empty sky. Their civilizations will grow and learn, but they will never know the universe that once was. We live in a spectacular time period, where we can actually look back in time, and see the early universe. Future civilizations won't have that luxury. They'll believe that the universe is, and always was, dark, dead, and empty, aside from their small island of light. The sheer distance between things. It's scary and somewhat depressing. There is literally no end to the universe. No matter how long we study it, there will always be stuff that we will never know, just because of the vastness of space. The Great Attractor is kinda ominous. There's an exoplanet with wind that's many times the speed of sound, and that rains glass. Another exoplanet that has spent time inside its star. There's a sort of fear that we aren't alone in the universe. Chances are anything we meet won't have remotely similar emotional spectrums that we have. Then there's a horrifying notion that we are alone in that infinite blackness. That we are just a fluke of chemistry that will probably never happen again. Edit. More people have died on Earth than have died on the sun. Spook. The fact that an asteroid could come at any time. And even though we have the technology to tell us that an asteroid is about to impact Earth, what can we really do about it? Nothing. We can do nothing. We can just sit here, with the media stations telling us what will happen, telling our friends and loved ones goodbye, praying, etc. It sucks. Why do we have the technology that tells us our inevitable doom is days, or even moments away, but no technology to possibly stop it? Edit. Words. The fact that a city-killing asteroid can slip through our detection systems and kill millions at any moment. It's bigger than anyone could ever hope to comprehend. Heat death. That one keeps me up at night. That the Milky Way galaxy has an estimated 10 million black holes. The coldest place in the universe is not the Boomerang Nebula, or even in space. No. It's the inside of a D-wave quantum computer, at 15 Nk. A fact from a show I used to like. The main problem is pressure. There isn't any. So, don't hold your breath or your lungs will explode. Blood vessels rupture. Exposed areas swell. Fun fact. The boiling temperature of water is much lower in a vacuum, which means that your sweat and your saliva will boil, as will the fluid around your eyes. You won't notice any of this, because 15 seconds in, you've passed out as oxygen bubbles formed in your blood, and 90 seconds in, you're dead. Edit. It's Doctor Who. The show is Doctor Who. There is no guarantee that the universe won't end in the next 10 seconds. Edit. There are people who are confused. I'm just saying that with the uncertainty of it all. It could be possible. Not saying it will. It could. Unlikely. But it isn't impossible. Edit. Thank you so much. You/Chewbacca207 for the silver. I really appreciate it. I had kind of a horrible start to my day. And the fact that someone appreciates something that I didn't like that much turned my day around. Getting sucked into a black hole literally turns you into spaghetti. There's a region of space where the ever-present cosmic radiation from the Big Bang is missing. The radiation is everywhere is space, except this area there's none. Why am I reading this thread? It's scary and depressing, haha. It's quite possible, likely even, that we'll never leave this solar system. Because even getting up to a modest fraction of the speed of light, travel elsewhere just takes too damn long. Pretty much all science fiction hand wavs this with jump drives and so on. But any kind of device like that would violate causality, and is fairly unlikely to be possible. If you were to instantly take off your spacesuit while floating in space, the side of your body facing the sun would cook, while the other would freeze. Everything in just under a couple of seconds. 1. We are the only intelligent beings in the entire universe. 2. We aren't the only intelligent beings in the entire universe. Both are equally terrifying. Yet one of them is true. And we don't even know which one that is.